going to start off with a small microplane. A microplane is nothing but a stainless steel rasp. So it's got teeth, they're very sharp, they stay sharp. This is a pull. These are all pushes, but you can turn these around if you want to. It pulls right out of here, stick it on that end, and it'll reverse. Pull and drag. The great thing about this small microplane is it's slightly curved, but it's so easy to hang on to and keep the shape of the wood. Twisted juniper just loves to be just peeled down to where it's good wood. So I did bring my little handy dandy little brush thing. If it does get plugged up a little bit, run it over some. I'm going to hit this pretty good for a minute and get some wood off here so we can do some other things. Normally, I do not put a lot of pressure on any tools, sandpaper or files, rasp or anything. This one here right now is something that I'm pushing as hard as I can. So with the twisted juniper, you do want to try to get down to as many of the cracks as you can, unless you really like to open cracks, because they are just a lot of cracks. I use round microplanes for inside curves, and I use flat microplanes for an outside curve. So I'll switch back and forth depending on if it's an inside curve or an outside curve. Now this one is very aggressive. So it's going to clean this down pretty quick. The one thing that I do with the four-way rasp, any of the files, microplanes that are not flat, is use a 45-degree angle. So this is 90 degrees from here to here. I go halfway. If we don't and we go this way, we're going to cut a hole. So what I want to do is to use as much of the blades, and if I went only this way, I would cut a hole. So if we do it on a 45, it just takes out some, doesn't allow it to dig a hole. Now if you want to dig something out, like in here, would work fine to go straight across it. So usually when I'm working an area, I'm going to work an area like that, and then I'm going to overcut that whole thing. And on the twisted juniper especially, it just keeps that flow from one end to the other. So we'll take a little bit off here, then we're going to drag it back, take out that little bit of a lip that we did there. So once I get this down to somewhere that we want it, I most likely will go back, because this will fit in there, and use the small one to really smooth it out with the grain. If you have, could be 10 years old. I might have replaced the blade. The blades are simple, they're $2 to buy. Just buy a new blade, snap it in. But a good microplane will leave the wood, close to finished. You really don't have to sand a lot if you can get a good long draw. So we're going to go with, that's getting down pretty good, and that stuff will go into our four-way rasp. You got rough cut here, rough cut flat on this side, small cut here with a small flat. So again, staying with the same idea, I'm going to use the inside, it's rounded, on the inside curve, and we'll use the flat on the outside. So a 45-degree angle. Again, kind of clean it. The four-way should take out all of the scratches that the microplanes put in. A lot better. Should be able to use the four-way to get this inside area. If not, we would use one of our rounded or a raspy. But again, you want to really be careful that you don't get going sideways, because then you make yourself more work. So I'm going to do just a couple others here. This one is a round, but much finer, so it should really start bringing out some grain and some highlight. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but I'm starting to see some red and orange. This needs a little more work here. So pretty darn smooth. There's not lumps in it. Another one that works. It's goofy looking. What it is, it's hacksaw blades. So it's just like a regular hacksaw to cut metal or anything with, clamped together. So it's on the push. So we'll try that up here a little bit. And you can see how much that it takes off. It really does. When I first seen it, I was like, well, that's questionable. But when we're trying to get down into good wood, we want whatever works the best on this piece of wood. We have small microplanes. This is actually it's a flat, but it's a kind of a diamond shaped and a round. For smaller areas, maybe for getting down inside here at times. They don't fit everywhere, but where they do work, they really work good. The flat, again, is for an outside curve. I keep it on that 45 still. Something to remember with microplanes is you don't have to use the whole microplane. So you don't have to use this part and this part and this part. If we needed to, we can use the last half of an inch to get up in here. You have, this is a drag, and it's whatever, a quarter round, really sharp. I haven't used it a lot, but it is pull. A little tough to hang on to. I should put a mat on it, but I've used it, and so it will get down into this area that the other ones won't. My theory on most woodwork is to work with the most aggressive tool that you possibly have, that you have control over. So if you have a very aggressive tool that you don't have control over, you're going to have more work to do than not. I use the four-way on everything. Small pieces, big pieces, wherever it'll fit. It for me, it just smooths out areas. And maybe it's because I work on twisted juniper all the time. I just start and go left, start and go left. So we got that much done in 10 minutes or whatever.